Upset was on the Joe Budden podcast and had the nerve to say that the big dog was an unseasoned version of him. Sir, you didn't even believe that lie when you said it. And my thing is, he gonna talk about, oh yeah, I've never seen nothing that I left alone level up. You would think that he want to get on there and talk about his music and promote himself. My thing is, if you left her, why were you crashing out? Why were you excited, allegedly, that there were rumors that Stefan and Cardi B broke up and you was on there talking about he's a cancer and you can't get rid of him? I just feel like if I left somebody, I wouldn't be acting like that. I would move on with my life in it. But no, he's been crashing out. He doesn't want to see the kids. He doesn't want to be a father, all because Cardi B left him and leveled up to something that's real fine. Real fine, real rich, real athletic. Ooh, abs of steel. I'm a shatter. Like, let's be for real. We saw you crashing out online, boy. A lie don't care who tell it, okay? We know he lying. He know he lying. And the people on the podcast know he lying, okay? We all saw you crashing out, boy. We know you still love her.
What's good, you guys, and welcome on another episode. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to be talking about what Offset had to say on Joe Budden's podcast. Offset was on Joe Budden's podcast, and you guys know there is no way this man is going to go on that podcast and he will not be asked about Cardi B. And we all know that Joe Budden isn't really a fan of Cardi B like that. But Offset sat on that podcast and said a whole lot of things. One of the things that he said that has been going viral is that he has never left a woman and see them level up. Like, whatever level they are when he leaves is where they stay. It's like they've never succeeded or even moved to a bigger fish than him. This is the same person who is crashing out. This is the same person who still has Cardi B's name in his mouth. And people are saying, if you don't know what delusional means, just Google Offset, that you are going to know. This man was the one crashing out. Now he's saying he has never left a relationship and see the woman go up. Let's get into what people are saying about this because it is absolutely insane at this point.
So Offset goes on the Joe Budden podcast and he dares to say, when they've asked him, first of all, a very immature question, Joe Budden asks him a question and he gives a response. And the response is so telling. Let's watch together, shall we?
Someone
Up and down.
cheats up or down, which one
worse?
hurts more? That was our debate.
If somebody cheat up or down.
Like if
I ain't never met none that I left went up, so I don't know how to experience. I don't know.
Now, yes, I cut out all of the silly, stupid banter right after Joe Budden asked the question, okay? So that it would be shorter. Time frame, you get it. But Joe Budden asks him, which one would be worse? If someone cheated up or if someone cheated down? I don't know about anybody else, but if you are truly over the person, why do you care? That's number one. Me, I don't care. I don't care whether you go up, down, around in a circle, to the sun and back. I don't care. Don't make no, never mind. Okay, I don't care. I don't care. Because I done had you. I know what you coming to the table with or not coming to the table with. And I done been there, done that. I ain't going back to you no way. However, to sit and have the answer that Offset had is very telling. Offset then says, well, I ain't never left anybody who went up. I'm sorry, sir. Now, I realize that might have been one of your little cutesy double entendres because Cardi B's song Up was a thing. But let me tell you something. Mr. Offset, Timothy, you just told on yourself, which makes you virtually, physically, emotionally undateable. Any woman worth her salt would not be stupid enough to take this man seriously. Because he is already telling you without saying it. He is telling you he is going to get with you. You are either glowed up already or you're going to glow up. He's going to drain your pockets. He's going to have you taking care of his kids, his mama, his bills, his everything. And he is going to cheat on you constantly and leave you broken. Because, honey, if you're left broken and you're left a hot mess, you can't go up. Do you understand? You can't date up. How you going to do that? When you're a broken, bitter, hot mess, left with no financial funds at all. See, he's the bitter baby daddy. Trust and believe, he's a bitter baby daddy. Because the one thing Cardi B has is all of her financial stability. Now, I don't know her personally, but I know she has more financial stability than Offset. Because see, Offset been offsetting them sperm. Yeah, he got babies everywhere. He has children that he has to take care of for the rest of their lives. So his money is tied up. See, Cardi only has to worry about her 3. He's got to worry about, like, what was it, 11, 12? And I heard from somebody who work in the industry, it might be 15. Because there's a few women out there that he done cheat with that he won't admit to that are currently pregnant. But you know what? It's alleged. It's alleged. It's alleged. Just saying. But it's crazy. It's nutty. It makes no sense. He should have just said, you know what? It doesn't matter to me. Let it go. But the fact that you do the little up dig and then you turned around and want to try to proclaim like you are the best thing ever, and they would never get anything better than you after you. Au contraire, Cardi is a winner because there's enough of us out here who have dealt with the Offsets of the world who will make sure Cardi is a winner. So we're going to make sure that when we do our next interview, Offset, Mr. Timothy, we are going to shut our mouth about past relationships, unless you want to admit to cheating. Yeah, we're going to shut our mouth. And you know what we're also going to do, Mr. Offset? We're going to make sure that every time we think to be petty, we're going to talk about the last time you spent time with your children. How about that? Have you spent time with your children? Have you left your children's spirits up? When's the last time your children held their hands up for you to pick them up? Yeah. When I tell you, men open their mouths and just the foolishness falls out. They just don't know how to shut up. Shut up.
So Offset went on Joe Budden's podcast and decided to say that he's never seen a woman level up. So Cardi B ain't leveling up with Stephon Diggs, and that Stephon Diggs is basically just the unseasoned version of him. So I went to go look up his net worth. It says Offset is worth about 40 million. Okay. Stephon is worth about 60 million. That ain't that much more. Cardi is literally estimated at 101 million. So what the fuck is Offset talking about? I'm gonna run a little bit of the clip of him on the Joe Budden podcast.
I ain't never met none that I left went up, so I don't know how to experience. I got a question. It's like the unseasoned version. You know what I mean? I ain't never seen no upward where I'm like, damn. Now,
I don't know how Offset looks at this as Cardi downgrading. She's with an NFL player who is worth more than him. She's worth like way more than him. I don't know. What y'all think about Offset saying this on the Joe Budden podcast?
Cardi B is the example of trying or attempting to do it right. You know, get married, have the kids, live happily ever after. Just in her case, she found out that she was in fact sleeping with the enemy. And don't beat me up if this is AI, but it seems like this is something exactly Offset would have done. So evidently, Cardi B and Stephon Diggs went on a date, and the caption said, "F it, we ball." Well, in turn, Offset did a post of a picture of him, and it said, "F it, watch it fall." And why do people do this? Why now, Offset, do you want to watch Cardi B's every move when you in fact was in the house with her and could have been looking and watching her every day? Yet instead you drug her through the trenches. You cheated on her habitually just to turn around and act like you can't take the L and move on? Because for you to sit on Joe Budden's podcast and call yourself Timothy and then say that you've never left a girl that turned around and dated somebody better than you shows that you still bother. But the gag is Cardi B left you, and it definitely was an upgrade from a washed up rapper to an NFL player. Thank you.
So real quick, what do we say on this page about men? They're in a pack together not to hold each other accountable. Today, Joe Budden having Offset on his podcast that demonstrated that. So Offset's on there. He's talking about his relationship with Cardi. At no point in time did anybody push him about the fact that he cheated on her, that he repeatedly publicly begged for her back, but he still did not change his ways. They asked him softball questions about the relationship, or they asked him questions that centered her, but not his behavior. Like, you know, he talked about how he feels like no woman upgrades after they leave him. Does he think that his girlfriend post Cardi is an upgrade? Did anybody ask him that? No. And they didn't even push back on the fact that he's saying Stefan Diggs is not an upgrade from him, which further they're asking him like, well, would you ever get married again? Not would you ever strive to actually be a good husband in a future relationship? Like, this is what I mean. Like, even somebody that they know, like Joe Budden has said in the past that he knows that Cardi, he's never heard anything about her stepping out in their marriage, but he knows that Offset did. We all know that. But when he gets on a podcast, nobody says, hey man, what do you think led to your infidelities? Why were you not able to keep that marriage together? You're married to a very powerful, successful, influential woman who was really trying to help you even with your solo career. Why weren't you able to make that work? Instead, they're asking him general questions like they just broke up and went their separate ways because they both contributed to the downfall of that marriage. And that's why it's so hard to even take men seriously, because so many of them are the reasons that their relationships fail. And anytime that happens, instead of their peers holding them accountable, they try to act like it was both of them. Oh, it just didn't work out. It's just, those two different people didn't work out. That's not the case in most scenarios. Because if that is what happened, those two people would go their separate ways. And Offset spent all that time after him and Cardi broke up, like saying stuff like, oh, you still my baby mama, I won, et cetera, et cetera. We saw his behavior. And nobody on that podcast held him to account for his behavior or even asked him about it. They just pretended like it was like, oh, a relationship that didn't work out. So men always talk about, oh, women are allergic to accountability. Look at how they address each other when they have the opportunity, when they know a man was horrible to his wife and his partner, horrible to his wife after she just gave birth to his baby. And none of them said anything. None of them had anything to say. None of them even asked a question to lead to that kind of conversation.
Did y'all see that video with Offset when he was on that podcast, that Joe Budden podcast? That whole panel of men are fucking trash. They need to be eliminated. Because there's no way in hell this nigga brag about cheating and say, oh, when I'm done with a bitch, I level up. First of all, I'm not the biggest Cardi B fan at all whatsoever. But she left you. That's the first fucking thing. She left you because you were a fucking serial cheater and you're probably... Okay, you see my wrist? We get it. And this is the exact reason why one of the reasons society sees us as a joke, because we have black men empowering other black men to do low down and fucked up things. And we take it as a joke. And we take it as a joke as if black women aren't the most important human beings on earth, especially in America. I just feel like, we need to eliminate these fucking specimens because they're a waste. And when I say black women are like the most important people in the world, I mean that generally, especially for black men. We are always first to advocate for black men. So for you to say shit like that really boggles my mind. Like, y'all are cool with not adding anything positive to a woman's life, just tearing her down, making her more stressed. This bitch didn't have 3 kids by you. And honestly, I would have stopped at 1, because there's no way you finna constantly keep making me look like a fucking idiot and I'm gonna constantly keep rewarding you with children. You already have fucking 5, 6, 7 before I met you. No way in hell. Like, this shit is... The internet is a strange place. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's so fucking true.
The way he was talking about the whole thing on the podcast just clearly shows or tells so many that he's still hurt about the whole situation. In fact, he's more hurt, or his ego was so much bruised at the fact that, Cardi B even had a thing with Stefan, because he seems to be a big fan of Stefan, and then to see Stefan and Cardi B together, it bruised his ego a little bit. And somebody even brought up the conversation of him celebrating when he had that these two broke up. And the way he was talking, you can just tell that he is delusional, because he is the one who has crashed out the most. And even whenever they are having issues, I feel like Cardi B is the one being seen as, the dumb one, like, for lack of better words, because whenever it is that whenever they are having a back and forth and they come online, people at one point, people don't even care, people don't even like take them seriously, because they said, oh, we will put our mouth and then you're going to come back with your 4th or 3rd pregnancy, because every time you guys are saying you have one issue or the other, you just pop up on us with, another pregnancy. We are not going to believe you. But I think he didn't believe her Cardi was going to leave this time around, because she had threatened to leave so many times, then I feel like she was still trying to gather her strength. And finally, now that she has that strength and she has left, this is the man that is crashing out and still saying that he has never left a woman and see them level up. Like, Cardi B has literally been sleeping with a enemy, like people said, because how will you say that you've never left a woman and see them level up? Like, how is that even a proud thing to say to the public? And you have a child, and that is the mother of your kids, and you will say or swear heaven and earth that you love your kids, and you're saying that about your mother. And a part of me feels like this man is already aware that he fumbled. But I really want to hear what you guys think. I feel like he knows that he fumbled. Hence the reaction that he is having. Hence the way he's talking about it. Because it doesn't seem like he's going to get that woman back ever again. He knows that is gone. And what other thing can he do just to be petty and kind of bring her down or say bad things about her? He's well aware that Joe Biden is not really a big fan of her, but he still kind of sat in that podcast with him and, talk trash on the mother of his kids. Like, it's absolutely insane. I saw a comment of someone saying he should not worry that the kids are going to grow up and cuss him out in Spanish. I laughed so hard when I saw that comment. And the fact that he said that, he has never seen the woman level up is definitely not an upgrade, because according to what I've seen online and what people have been saying, that man seems to hold some racks more than Offset. So how is that not an upgrade? How is it not a level up, to be honest? Even though some people were saying they do not really support the relationship that Cardi B is having with Stefan, because Stefan is just the Offset of NFL, still higher than Offset. So why is he saying that he has never left a woman and see them level up? And if you have never left a woman and see them level up, you don't think you're supposed to go wash your head at the river? I really want to hear what you guys think about this in the comment section. I was listening to that podcast. It's sad and funny at the same time. Let me hear what you guys think in the comment section. I am going to catch you guys in the next one.